I think what we were looking for is, at least for the statements by the two sides, to have a lot more alignment than they have had so far. So what's between the lines is not fully agreed upon how much more China will import from the U.S. on an aggregated basis. The U.S. side seems to think that U.S. exports to China can go up by more than 200 billion, whereas the quantitative commitments on China's part are somewhat more tentative. And I think the exact wording around these have to be nailed down before we assess the deal for what it's worth. And even on the tariffs, we note that the rollback of the tariff only amounted to just over 10% of the total tariffs that have been imposed. So it's not a very significant rollback. And so any expectations for a V-shaped rebound on the back of this could be premature, if not outright misplaced.
So when you say that some of the detail is perhaps lacking, and you talk about some of the claims being made by perhaps the United States, saying it expects to see its exports double, do you perhaps suggest that that's probably not on the money?
I think we fall back on time frames here. So I don't expect this would be realized immediately. So anyone out there making bets based on instant gratification is going to get disappointed on this one. And China is also, I think Beijing has also been very smart. Even when they spoke of farm imports, they spoke of it from the viewpoint of value. So it must be good value imports that Beijing wants to engage in, and not just import because there's a certain quantitative target behind it. So I think those are the nuances behind it. And so the material deal that comes out from this is going to be very important. For us, a far bigger risk here is that it is a bait and switch, where we focus a lot on the trade deal, but in fact, the tech tensions continue. So what happens with Huawei, how US is pressuring other allies not to take up Huawei in its 5G technologies, those could also be a source of pressure running in the background, which is another reason why we think we don't get euphoric over this initial baby step, which is welcome, but not quite the done deal.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.